Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. So, positivity, what does that mean? Well, I actually posed the question on Facebook yesterday. What does positivity mean to you? And I've had some really nice responses. Positivity is about, it's an attitude. Positivity it's how you look at life. It's a lessons learned and move on. And you're absolutely right. Those things are spot on when you're thinking about positivity. So what happens when you're faced with setbacks and challenges? We've all received that well-meaning advice, right? Stay positive. Woo! Right? Well, the greater the challenge, the more this glass half full wisdom can come across as unrealistic. It's hard to find the motivation to focus on the positive when positivity seems like nothing more than wishful thinking, right? We've all been there. We've all been there. So how do you train your brain to become more positive? Well, I've done some research. Hey, Megan. Hey, Judy. How's it going? I've done some research, and there's some pretty cool science around positivity and rewiring your brain. Pretty awesome stuff. So I found a couple of steps, and I'm going to share those with you. I'm going to break them up, though. I'm going to do step 1 today and step 2 next week. And my logic behind that is sometimes it's nice to have things to practice and work on that's small and digestible before you add in another element. Okay? So let's do this. Let's do this. So what's step 1? Step 1 in rewiring that beautiful brain of yours is to separate fact from fiction. And what do I mean by that? So the first step in learning to focus on the positive really requires knowing how to stop the negative self-talk in its tracks. Because the more you reflect on negative thoughts, the more power you give them, the more energy you give them, you make them larger than life, right? So, and they actually do become that larger than life. So most of our negative thoughts, though, this is the good news, are just thoughts. They're not facts, right? So what do you do? What do you do when you find yourself believing the negative and pessimistic things that are happening? That's when your inner voice jumps in, says it's time to stop and write them down. So literally, you're going to stop what you're doing and write down those thoughts that you're having, those negative thoughts that you're having. So once you've taken a moment to slow down the negative momentum of your thoughts, you'll be more rational, more clear-headed in evaluating their truth, right? Does that make sense? Because it's the larger we make it, if we stop that momentum of the strength, how much power you're giving this negative thought, the less it's going to grow and grow and grow and grow. So evaluate the statements to see if they're factual. So you're going to write them down, and you're going to look at it and say, okay, is this fact or fiction? So little hint here, too, is you can bet the statements that are not true are anytime you see the words like never, always, worst, ever, those words, you could pretty much assume that those are not accurate statements, right? All about fiction. So, for example, do you always lose your keys? Of course not. Perhaps you forget them frequently, but most days you remember them. Another example, are you never going to find a solution to your problem? And with this one, if you really are that stuck, maybe you've been resisting asking for help. That can happen too, and maybe that's something you need to explore. So if the statement still looks like facts on paper, you're building up this negativity, you're writing them down, you stopped it, you've written them down, and you're still looking at it going, I think this is facts. That's when it's time to enlist a friend or colleague, somebody you trust. Show them what you've written down and see if he or she agrees with you. And I bet that's when the truth will come out. That's certainly when the truth will come out, okay? So identifying and labeling your thoughts by separating them from the facts will help you escape the cycle of negativity and move forward with a positive outlook. Isn't that so much better, right? This world is so tricky and so fantastic and lots of moving pieces and families and friends and work and everything. How about we just stop? Stop what we're thinking when those negative things come up and write them down and really look at it. See if it's an accurate statement, okay? So there's also good news here. There's good news here. Pessimism isn't something you're born with. Nope. So if you're thinking, oh, my dad, he tends to be kind of a negative Nelly and that's where I got it. That's an inaccurate statement. So you're not born with this. This is a learned behavior, okay? So you're fully capable of changing your outlook on things. It just takes practice. And anything you try, or can't believe I said try, anything that you choose to do, takes courage. Anything you choose to do that's new takes courage. Anything you choose to do to stick with takes a tremendous amount of courage. And I know you have this courage, that's why you're here, right? So practice this week and join me next week for the step 2 in rewiring your beautiful, positive brain, and practice this all this week. Negative thoughts, write it down and see if it's fact, see if it's fiction, okay? All right, so everybody have a great day. No, make it a great day because you're gonna choose to, and stay positive, all right? Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day and week, and I'll talk to you soon.